Hi, I'm David Wallis and I will be taking the Global Finance course come the fall of 2014, and the purpose of this video is to tell you a little bit more about that course. At the highest level it comes down obviously to the theory and practice of finance, and we'll start off with corporate finance, things like looking at companies, ratio analysis, cash flows, capital structure, leverage, dividends, perhaps a little bit of M&A, and probably 2/3 or so through the course we'll go to a more discrete topic-based series of issues or themes: risk management, derivatives, possibly project finance, related but a slightly different context than pure corporate finance. Functionally, we'll look at a lot of models, cash flow models, corporate models, and so we will do a fair amount of work with numbers and a fair amount of teamwork too, which I think is an important learning aspect of the course. I think pretty self-evident that business and finance are important to what goes on in the world, and finance is there to support and fund the business and control the risks in so doing. So not much more to say about that. The who aspect, what sort of people might be interested in taking the course, I think has a pretty high general applicability, whether you're thinking of working in the private sector, in finance or otherwise, or in government or in regulation or in consultancy. Finance touches an awful lot. It funds everything by definition, so I think there's a high applicability to the course, and hopefully it will be a useful one to many people. My professional experience kicked off in London, where I worked as an economist for a while, and then I kind of moved into investment banking, working with corporates, being based in London and then latterly in Tokyo. And after a while I ended up here in New York, and I worked for an insurance company where I became the Chief Risk Officer and the Chief Executive Officer, both really in the midst of the crisis, at a company that pretty much was at the epicenter of that crisis. Regrettably, so much so I had to file the company, in fact, for Chapter 11, because of all that happened in relation to that crisis. I think what that means is that I have clearly some stories to tell and some lessons to learn, and can, I think, claim to understand a fair amount about finance, both in theory and in practice. Some of that practice is good and some of that practice is bad, and that's life. The first thing I'll say is that the course will be tough. It's a graduate level course, it's supposed to be tough, and I will endeavour to challenge you, I really will. And I make no apologies about that, so you can expect a great deal of reading and a fair amount of head scratching, and you'll have to work hard. It will be a hard and demanding course, but it will be an interesting one too. In terms of the work process, as I mentioned, cases will be important. There'll be good opportunities to work by yourself and to work in teams and to work against teams. We'll probably have some kind of M&A simulation or some such at some point in the course. Homework wise, there will be 2 or 3 assignments which I'll mark and give you feedback on, and also I will observe and give you feedback in relation to your class participation, which is an important element of the course too. So that's it. I hope that's useful, and I look forward to seeing at least some of you, I hope, in the fall. Thanks.